everybody. How are you doing tonight? Sorry if we're a minute or so late. Ed and I were just cracking each other up before the show. The show before the show is sometimes more fun than the actual show. But thanks for joining us tonight on Sunday night. And we got a lot to talk about. Lots of new players, new faces, all that kind of fun stuff to talk about tonight, and anything else you want to cover as well. But, of course, I don't do this show by myself, so let's say hi to everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Ed. How you doing, Ed?
How's it going, Peter Brown? Oh, man, you guys missed a pre-show. We should do like a bloopers or something, record ourselves because it was hilarious. We're not prepared for this show, guys, so that's what we're going over. Peter,
so hang on. Let's just pause right there because you said we are not prepared, right? Meanwhile, I've got like 10 tabs open of things that I'm prepared, schedules, things I want to talk about. I think I'm prepared. I may not know the answer to every one of your questions, which is why you said we're not prepared, because I didn't know an answer to one of your silly questions. But
well, you guys are going to enjoy this show because it's Peter was prepared.
It's loosey-goosey.
I was prepared.
Loosey-goosey. A little bit prepared. We're a little bit prepared. But, those shows where we're not prepared tend to be more fun.
Exactly.
Well, anyways, we're going to have fun tonight, and thanks, everybody, for joining. And I see there's quite a few people in the chat already, so that's great. So say hello in the chat if you haven't done so already, and we will say hi to you in just a minute. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about. We know about the preseason. It starts tomorrow. The players have just completed their physicals. They're doing that. Players are being announced, but not quite announced. All kinds of fun stuff to talk about. But before we get to all that, let's go and say a big thank you to our sponsor, and that is Caneswear. So everybody needs to drive out to Caneswear in Davie. That's where you're going to get all the best Inter Miami gear. You're going to get the hat that Ed and I are wearing. You can see it right here in this picture. They've got it there at Caneswear. And if Davie is a little out of your area, if it's a little too far for you to drive, go to caneswear.com. Orders over $99, ship for free. Mention Futbol Miami TV and show them that their advertising dollars are working. So support us by supporting them. So Ed,
Peter Brown.
Also, this reminds me, call 786-474-4435 and leave a voicemail. So we'll tackle your voicemails as they come in. And so if you want to have your voice heard, let's do it.
And guys, I want to say hello to, there's a lot of people showing up. I thought that, right now, Honduras versus Colombia is playing. And I thought a lot of people weren't going to show up, but then it's Colombia, Honduras. So not everybody that listens to us are just from there. So that game's going on right now, and Colombia is beating Honduras 2-1. I think they were in like the 70th minute or something like that. But
curious what kind of crowd they're getting there at Drive Pink.
I'd love to know. I haven't seen exactly what. I'll send a message out right now to somebody that I know that's over there and see if they tell me if the stadium's full or whatever. But yeah. Let's start by saying hello to everybody that's in the chat room.
Yes.
The first one on was B King. How you doing, B King?
And we'll come back to some of these questions or comments. We can come back to some of these.
I remember B King because he's, I think, first time we had a giveaway, he was the first guy that won.
Yeah.
So, Jazz Fusion. How you doing, Jazz Fusion?
Jazz, when are you going to come to a Miami game? When are we going to see you? You got to come down from that Kissimmee area to one of the games this year. You have to.
Peter Brown's calling you out.
You got to be
calling you out.
You got to
meet up with us.
Because look, this next guy that we're going to say hi to, he's been here and he lives further away.
He sure does. A new Wiseman. How you doing, my friend, up in Atlanta? They're starting to get a pretty decent team too. I was checking it out earlier.
Yeah.
Chris Menendez, another Ecuadorian out there. He's already talking about one of the guys that we're going to talk about. That's why he supports that one player. How you doing, man? We also have Jose Velasquez. He's got an Ecuadorian flag there too.
Oh, I couldn't tell what that was.
Yeah, it's an Ecuadorian flag.
All right, so small.
I don't know if he's Ecuadorian. Just let me know if you are, because I am. We got our good friend Eric Thomas. Yeah, Eric. Kata is also with us. Thanks for joining us, Kata. And we also have Carlos C. How you doing, bud? We got Giovanni Rodriguez. Man, we got some good conversation going on in that chat room. Esteban Dido. There you go. One of Peter Brown's favorite critics.
He's never happy. He's never happy.
Dude, yeah, he's
Never
a half
happy.
cup type of half cup full type of guy. Alejandro Mike Michel, I think.
Say that again.
Alejandro
Say
Michel.
that. Try to say that again.
No, I'm not gonna say it again. We got the good judge himself, Judge Dredd the Law. Yeah, he's on there with us again. Antonio, he's another guy that lives kind of far, right?
Doesn't he? I think so. Or
Yeah.
I was getting the Jays mixed up.
You could have confused
where who
yourself.
lives where people live.
You called out the wrong guy.
I might have
think
called
you're
out the
talking
wrong
about Judge
guy.
Dredd.
Might have called out the wrong guy.
Antonio Sanjurjo. How you doing, man? I hope I pronounced that Sanjurjo right. And that's it for now. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm surprised I didn't see.
Judge is the one in Kissimmee. Yeah, I'm not sure where.
There you go.
I'm not sure where Jazz is.
See, you got it confused.
I got it mixed up. Got you guys mixed up. The Jays.
I'm surprised One World, One Goal isn't on here. She's always on.
Maybe she's watching.
The Honduras game or something. Honduras versus Colombia.
Yeah. Well, she would be cheering for Colombia, right? Because
she probably would. Yeah.
Her boy Diego Serna.
Diego Serna. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
Yeah, guys. Thanks. Probably. Thanks for joining us, guys. And man, there's so much to talk about. That's why we don't have a guest again, because we figure why waste a good show that's got tons to talk about, on a guest. So where do we start, Peter Brown? You're the one that said you're prepared.
I don't know.
So I'm throwing that ball in your court.
I don't know. Well, no, let's start off by just the players. They all went through their medicals yesterday, so they're all saw videos of they were at baptism. I saw some faces there I didn't quite recognize. I don't know if it's because there's some of those unannounced signed players, or just people changed their look a little bit, dyed their hair or something. A couple people I wasn't sure who they were, but so that happened and that was good. But one of the things that's just to mention that everybody should tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow they are.
What's tomorrow, Peter? That's one of the things I was laughing about earlier before the shutdown, because I had no idea. You said, are you going to tune in for that? Something like that.
Yeah. You guys got to tune in for this. You got to tune in for this. It's the preseason opening day. So they're going to have some sort of festivities with, a press conference with Neville and Henderson. And then I'm not sure, but I think they might be taking the cameras out to the training pitch. I'm not sure. But, 10:30 a.m. on everywhere. So they'll be streaming it on the app, the Inter Miami app, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I'll watch it probably on YouTube. Eric Thomas already calling me out, saying, her boy, Diego Serna, don't you mean her husband? Put some respect on his name. I mean, it's still your boy. I mean, I still call my wife my girl. She's my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Still your boy. I got some respect for Serna. I got a Miami FC shirt with his name on the back.
Yeah.
So anyways, if we want to see and hear what the team may look like, tomorrow's the day, our first glimpse. Tomorrow's the first day at work. Some of the players have already been, which was great. Some players have checked in early, and they were already training with, last week, and that was great to see some players there. But it's going to be broadcast with Chris Whittingham, Kalen Kyle, and Thomas Rangen. So, and Henderson will speak, and so will Neville. Upcoming preseason, the direction of the team, and yada yada yada. So
if you guys aren't working, check that out.
Even if you are, take a break, or if you're working, put it on, and you have like two monitors, put it on your second monitor. That's what I'll do. I'm going to work and put it on my other monitor, and so I can listen to it.
Must be nice.
Well, I work from right here. This is
he's got one of those chill jobs where he can just twiddle his thumbs and
no.
delegate people to do his work.
I do some some delegating. I definitely do some delegating.
Calling Peter out here, but Peter, this is real exciting because there's people in that that already took their physical and they have not been announced.
Yes,
but I think everybody knows at this point because of social media that these guys have basically signed. The team just hasn't announced them.
All right, so let's start there. Let's talk about which I think probably the player you're most excited. And we have actually 2 voicemails, so we can come and check those out soon. But let's just talk about I think the guy you're probably most excited about, Ed, and that is this guy right here, Leo Campana.
Yes,
if I'm saying
Leonardo.
it right. Yeah, so we can watch little highlights as we talk about him. But what do you know about this Ecuadorian forward, Ed?
Peter, he got famous because apparently the under-20 of Ecuador, their starting forwards, I believe one of them was called Cifuentes. I think he broke his leg right before the South American under-20s tournament, and I think there was another one that also got hurt. And Campana replaced one of these players, and he did really well. He became the goal champion of the South American Cup, and Ecuador was a champion of South America. So that's why they're doing so well nowadays with the World Cup qualifying team, because they got all these young kids. And I think Ecuador has the youngest, what's it called, the average in player age, the youngest team in the world right now nice. for the main national team. I think the United States is in second place. We also have a young team. So Campana was the reason why they basically made it into the World Cup. Ecuador ended up being in third place. I think oddly enough, he didn't score in the World Cup, or he was, or if he scored, I think he scored 1 goal. But he went on because of that. In England, the Wolves actually signed him up. He actually played for Barcelona, which is my Ecuadorian team. Then he went to Wolves in England. He didn't get a chance there. They sent him to Portugal, where he spent some time. I think he scored like 2 goals or something like that. Then he went to another team. He went to Grasshoppers in Switzerland. He played 14 games, scored 3 goals. I think he had 2 assists. So, he's, a pretty decent player. He scored, as you can see, look at that goal right there.
Yeah.
That's an impressive goal.
Look, highlight reels, everybody looks good in a highlight reel, but this is a good highlight reel. I mean, he does look
yeah,
like
it is. And, I remember some people were criticizing him on Twitter, but I noticed they were Emelec fans. Emelec fans are the rivals of Barcelona. So, they were talking, they were just being haters. But as you can see, the guy has scored goals.
Yeah.
So he just hasn't gotten many minutes. He's come on as a substitute or whatever, but he scored some goals.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see if he starts. Do we start with 2 up top? Last year we played a lot of times with just Higuain at top, and sometimes we'll put the forwards as wingers. Did that with Robinson, and he had success with that. Curious if they do that with Campana.
It might happen, or maybe if we play the local games, maybe we'll play with 2 forwards. I'd be interested in seeing that, because I think he could learn a lot from Higuain. Look at that play right there.
Yeah.
The guy can play. He's good technically. He's quick. He's tall. So and he's got the looks, man. I think the girls are going to be after him.
Looks like he's got a little bit of a receding hairline, but other than that.
Oh yeah, it looks. Hey, dude, those things happen. I can attest to that. I became bald pretty young myself. So, I'm pretty excited. I think he's going to do well in Miami. Cross my fingers he does. Otherwise, everybody's going to start hating on Uncle Ed.
Yeah, and when the funniest thing is, I was saying to my wife, is like, it's funny how the team wants to announce their players, right? They want to, they're taking their time because they want to announce their players. And here you've got, players sitting there in the locker room taking a picture and posting it. And so, I'm sure the marketing team of, is not happy at this new signing, and he wasn't, the only one, because this shot here popped up of the other young new guy. And, with Emerson, is it Emerson Rodriguez? I think Emerson, right?
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez is his last name, yeah. Colombian player. So, he's obviously in uniform out on the pitch, and he has yet to be announced either. So it's just kind of funny.
Oops is there. It's funny. The Ecuadorian guy, Leo Campana, the guy on his right, I think,
Okay,
is
let's
his
go back to that.
agent.
Yeah,
So he should have known better. Yeah, I forgot the guy's name. I think they call him Chalo
Okay.
something. I forget his last name. But that's probably his agent, because he's an agent for another Ecuadorian, Ener Valencia, who's the starter for Ecuador, the national team right now. So
Okay.
the dude's got good connections, because he's been able to shop Campana around to a lot of teams, mostly in Europe. And, some are talking like, oh man, it's a step down from Europe to Major League Soccer. But
Right.
if you really think about it, Grasshopper in Switzerland's first division, have you really heard of them?
Nope.
They're not a big deal either. So I
Right.
think we're probably equal, if not maybe
Yeah.
Major League Soccer is a little bit better.
You know,
So let's go back to the Colombian.
well, yeah. I first off, I agree with Esteban here, who says I don't care if Campana is, as long as Campana is a great footballer who can contribute to Inter Miami. I don't care if he's Ecuadorian, Peruvian, or even Colombian. I agree, but when when it is your nationality that's getting represented, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
So, yeah, it's fun.
It's always Esteban calling people out.
That's his thing. That's his thing. But yeah, Emerson Rodriguez, he's young too. I forget his age. I think 23 or something like
he's
that.
Also, I know Campana's 21. This guy's he's pretty young too. He's basically a winger, right? So he'll probably be the guy that be giving some of those centers into Higuain and Campana.
Yeah. So Emerson,
another exciting player right there.
Emerson is 21.
There you go. Wow.
And
a young team, man. The only one that messes up our average in age is Higuain and Matuidi, who hopefully he can move on and to back to France or something and give us that DP spot, because we need it for a playmaker, Peter. That's the only thing I think we really need right now, a playmaker.
yeah, we need that Vega kid, right?
Yeah, and
So,
Vega's
yeah.
still pretty young. I think he's like 26. Still in his prime. He's going
Right.
to cost us a pretty penny, but if we can get that guy, I think we're going to have a competitive team next year. Considering everything that we've gone through, all the penalties that we've
it's so
received.
early. I don't know. I mean, it's so early. These guys could all be. Let me do my Esteban
Debbie Downer.
my Esteban impression, but they could still suck, right? But we're hopeful.
Yeah.
We're hopeful. It's a new team, so we're totally hopeful. This is a year one all over again, So you're just keeping a couple of pieces, really, and that's it. So, and Rodriguez, don't know a whole lot about him. Obviously, young, Colombian player playing for Millonarios, or something like that. I can't say it right.
And there's Bogota
So,
from Bogota.
and everybody keeps talking about. I keep seeing it pop up here. So let's talk about Damion Lowe. People are excited about this Jamaican center back, tall guy, captain of Jamaica. Somebody in here was already commenting, saying he holds down the entire team basically at times. But I have my doubts because
Right.
his professional career, for the most part, has been in the USL. So
with
he
the
has
hated Tampa Bay Rowdies. I
Yes,
remember.
he has, and that's why I put that up in the thumbnail because it was Rowdies. But yeah, and so he played for Phoenix Rising as well. He was drafted in Seattle, and so that's where the connection comes from. Chris Henderson obviously is familiar with him because Seattle drafted him in the MLS Super Draft some years back, and they loaned him out to their USL affiliate, Defiance or something. I forget the name of the team, but the affiliate for Seattle. So he played there, but then again he moved around within USL, and then more recently was playing. Where was it? He was recently like Egypt or something. I don't know, someplace else.
Mm-hmm. Something in the Middle East. I'm sure he.
Yeah,
made a
I think
pretty
so.
Penny.
Yeah, probably made some good money at it because they pay. But yeah, so I don't know how good is he really at this level. That's my question. So.
And then he is being called to the Jamaican national team, so I guess he's still relevant.
Yeah.
In that sense.
But
so
are they
he
any
must
good?
He must be some good. They're not, unfortunately.
That's my point.
The Reggae Boys they're in last place if I'm not mistaken in the CONCACAF.
This is not the Reggae Boys of old that actually made some nice runs and stuff like that. No qualifiers, whether they made it or not, they were always dangerous. This is not that team. So to say he's a captain of a bad team, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's but on the bright side, I mean, he must be good to play for his national team.
Kata says that Phoenix was really good when he was playing for him. So I mean, that's good.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna poo-poo too much on USL, but
or on Lowe, because we really want him to do well. We need defenders. We got. We also talk about defenders. We did, I think, talk about last week about the guy that's moving up from Fort Lauderdale CF.
Yeah, Mabika. So I think Mabika may start because they've seen him in MLS action and he looks good. I could see him starting. Right. Possibly next to Lowe, but I don't know. We don't know about Lowe.
You rhymed, man. Next to Lowe, but I don't know.
I know.
Look what you did there.
Next thing I'm gonna kick off my next part of my career, and that's rhyme and raps.
There you go.
That'll be the next. But I'm gonna kick it back the 80s kind of raps. Not the
do some
like
competition to DJ Ted C, right?
Yeah. Me and Ted are gonna go at it. Where's Ted been lately? Man, I haven't seen him in here.
I have no idea. I got to send him a message and see if he's still alive.
Yeah,
he might be at the Honduras Colombia game. He likes arepas. So he'll probably go just to eat arepas.
So here's a good point. Tracker says, let's all lower our expectations. Not trying to be a mean fan, but the all who are coming up from Fort Lauderdale have college level. So yeah. So I think that is true. This is going to be. I would not be surprised if we come out of the gate slow. This is a team that doesn't have any. They've never played together. They haven't practiced together. A bunch of new players, a bunch of college-type players, like he says. We might even see a college player or two, some of our draft picks actually getting a chance to play with the first team right off the bat. That's always a possibility. And then these foreign, young foreigners that we picked up. Look, we've been burned by 21-year-olds before as well. There was.
In other words, basically, I'm being too positive. And
I think Ed. I think if we go back and this was talked about when we had what's his name from Miami Total Football on our show.
Franco Paniza.
Franco.
How could you forget,
man? I don't know. Because that's why before the show I was writing down names, because once we go live, I start forgetting names because you're rolling, you're moving, you're thinking, you're reading chats, you're doing all these stuff. Yeah, Bruni's brother.
There you go.
But he interviewed us last year and he brought it up when we had him on the show last that when he talked to us, you thought the team was going to be the world beater. We're going to be number one. We're going to be great. And I was just like, maybe not.
And on paper, look at Figal. He's going to Boca Juniors, which is a pretty big.
But it's got to happen, right? He's still with the team. So that's a question. He's still with it. Does he show up tomorrow? I would imagine no, if they're close to getting the deal done.
I think that's a done deal. LGP went to. He's already in uniform with River Plate. That's funny that they're going to be on opposing teams, and two of the biggest rivals right there. So they're on paper, those are good players, man, but they just didn't do well with us.
I think my point is about bringing that up is I think we're in the same place this year. You're gung ho. Yes, we're going to be great, and I'm like, well, hold on. I mean, I'm hopeful. I want us to be great, but I also, I think
reality check, Uncle Ed, right?
I think so. I think there's a lot of new players, a lot of players that, other players that we picked up, and Mo Adams, and, he's been decent, but not a world beater by any means. Bryce Duke, another young guy from LAFC that they brought in. We talked about him last week. The LAFC fans are not happy that he's gone, so that's a positive, but still.
That's a good sign right there. Same thing with the Colombian. People were sad that he was going. So, when you see that, the only one that I saw some people mixed about was Campana, but I noticed that the guys that we're talking about were from the other teams.
Which player was it that you said has got a reputation of partying too much? Which of the two of those was that? Was Campana or Rodriguez? It was one of those, I think.
I think it may have been Rodriguez. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to remember. We were having a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I did read something about that, and hopefully that might be one of the reasons why they let him go. Hopefully he concentrates. And the bad thing is that coming to Miami, a place, or South Florida.
There's no temptation. There's no temptations here, Ed. It's
right. There's
zero.
There's a lot of temptations, Peter. There's a lot of temptations out there.
And look, you could say, they're in Fort Lauderdale.
I was single for a long time, Peter Brown.
And you could say, well, they're in Fort Lauderdale. They're not in Miami. They're still an hour away from South Beach. Well, you can get into plenty of trouble in Fort Lauderdale too.
You can.
It's a pretty good place too. You could get
I'd drive up trouble. And party. I'd party up there in Fort Lauderdale and had tons of fun. So
yeah. So, all right. So let's get to one of these voicemails here, and let's bring this one up so you guys can know what the phone number is if you want to join in. Oh, hang on a second, Ed. I do need to do one thing. Got to say this. Got to do that. And now it should work. All right, let's check it out.
Hola, what's going on? ¿Cómo estás, mi gente? It's America's favorite uncle. That's right, Uncle Ned. And what does Uncle Ned always say, family? Bam, fam, fam. Bam, bam, bam. Happy 2022. Just want to say what's up to everybody. Shout out to Italia, Jazz Fusion, Jet Pancake, the rest of the squad, Bruno, the whole team out there. It's good to see you guys, and let's kick this season off right. I'm in a good mood because our guy, Chris Henderson, he's been out there, man. He's been out there grinding, and I'm ready to, I know this is crazy, but I'm ready to erect a statue of him already. So I love what Chris Henderson is doing, and I'm looking forward to things to come. I actually think that they got rid of a little bit too many people, but you can see Hindu is like, man, I'm burning this thing down to the ground. To hell with the Tubby curse. To hell with the previous administration did, and so on and so forth. I'm getting rid of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody for sale.
Everybody.
So he's doing that. And I didn't think they would get rid of Fagal and LGP, but they did. And it seems like icing on the cake. It's Blaise Matuidi might be on his way out of here, okay? So my question to you guys is, are they going to sign this guy? I think his name is Rafael Viegas. I think he's going to be a number 10 for us. Rumored to be coming out of Brazil. I mean, we've already got Gene Mota, but are they going to get the other Brazilian guy? I hope they do, because if Matuidi is gone and he goes to Troyes in France, then that means we've got a DP slot left open. I know we didn't get one because of the Pizarro deal, but this one right here, we'll have a slot open, and I hope we get it. On another brighter note, Peter Brown and Uncle Ed. I don't like how you jumped Uncle Ned when we talked about the Book of Boba Fett. You guys suck for that, and Uncle Ned is going to be coming after both of you. I'm going to bring that van down there.
Hey, you know where
there's a lot of ass to be kicking. So, but other than that, I love you guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Come and get me, Uncle Ned. Come and get me.
There you go.
You know where
I live. And Peter, I got to mention so everybody knows what he's talking about. We're big nerds, Peter more than I think. And we were talking about the Book of Boba Fett. And Peter started off saying that he thinks Boba Fett is weak. I have to agree.
Boba Fett, today's Boba Fett is a wuss. And here's the thing. I like the show. I think it's done well. It's good. It gives it definitely makes the fanboy happy. But he is, in the flashbacks when he's with the Sand People, he's a badass. right?
Right.
But it seemed like when he spent his time with the Sand People, and when I might do spoilers, Ed.
Yeah. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you guys haven't seen it, we should have done that before.
Yeah. I mean, that's no big thing as far as him being a wuss or spoilers, but give it a chance. I bet Boba Fett. Bruni says, give it a chance. Oh, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a huge Star
That's
Wars
what we're
fan.
hoping, Bruni. Yes. Bruno, I'm telling you, he's got to become a killer again.
So okay, I won't go too deep in spoiler area, but if you saw it, you know what I mean. In I think the third episode where he sheds a tear, right? And he's just got some things happen in the desert that got him in touch with his emotional side, you know, and he might be a little too 2022, you know, a little too modern there, and a little too in touch with his feelings. I want the badass Boba, and that was built up in the comics and the books and all that stuff, because obviously screen time was short, but. Yeah, exactly. Anthony, he's totally weak. He got his butt kicked in the streets in the first episode.
Yeah, and we could go on, but let's not be spoiler. We should probably have another show, man. About
and here's the thing. It's like you want to Mandalorian. Mandalorian would kick Boba's butt.
Mandalorian was more of a badass.
Mando is more of a badass than Boba, and Boba should be more because he's been around longer. He's
Boba, man.
Yeah. Come on.
But anyways,
Bruni says the Hutt family's going down. Hey, I don't trust the Hutt family. They gave up a little too easy. They'll be back. If they're not back, then they're wusses as well.
I think they just want Boba Fett to, fight against the what are they called? I forgot the
Pikes.
The Pikes.
Those are cool. Those guys are cool.
Yeah, and when they see him weak, the Hutts will come back.
All right.
And they'll try to take over.
We might be.
They're smart, man.
We might be losing some people, but the other show, I was actually just watched the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker. Did you see that, Ed?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's with that big.
I will.
It's with that big wrestler guy. I forgot his name. John Cena.
Right.
And one of the things I like about
there
it
you go.
is Peacemaker's got a thing for 80s metal. He's sitting there jamming to Firehouse. He's all excited that he's got a Cinderella record. He's
oh wow.
He grabbed a Pretty Boy Floyd record. I mean, that's some deep cut stuff there that he's into. He's into.
No
80s
wonder
metal.
you like it.
Yeah.
You should like some new wave.
Okay, so we got it.
Mode.
Black Chrysanthemum. I can't say his name, but that was awesome. And he's from the comics, and so that was really cool. All right.
Yeah, but in the comics, he would have torn up. See how he grabbed Boba Fett?
Yeah, he would have ripped him up.
He should have broken his back.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So
we need a Black Chrysanthemum type on Inter Miami. We need
go.
That's what our defender.
Back in the
that's
soccer.
what our center back. That's who we hope. Damion Lowe or Christopher McVey or any of these guys. He's one of the new guys as well. That's who we're hoping.
Well, we supposedly re-signed Breck Shea. I haven't seen anything about that lately.
Well,
but
I know.
I think he's got the look to be one of the tough guys on the team.
Yeah, he could. But that still hasn't been. That was in the Miami Herald. Michelle Kaufman mentioned that, so we all trust Michelle. And look, I'm guessing, right? This team is lowering their payroll for obvious reasons, and I'm guessing that someone like Breck Shea might be willing to take a little less money if he could stay in South Florida because he has South Florida ties. His wife is from Deerfield Beach, which is just around the corner from the stadium. Basically, it's really close to me. So when I go to Home Depot, I'm on the lookout for some Breck Shea. See if see if he's buying some lumber.
That'd be a good picture.
But because I actually know some people have seen him. I saw one person saw him at Home Depot, and I think another person saw him at Firehouse Subs. So he's around town in his off hours. But so he could potentially. Maybe he can get him for a little cheaper just because he wants to keep his wife happy and keep her in South Florida. I don't know. So, Richard Greenberg from Toronto is saying, nice to see Jay Chapman move to Scotland and Dundee. Yeah,
Dundee
I mean,
FC.
some of these players that left, I think, left for a better situation. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if Scotland, Dundee, and Scotland is a step up or not. I think it sounds like it is. I think it is. It's European.
I'd say he's in Europe.
He's in Europe,
but not all European teams are that good though. Like you talk about the Swiss team.
But there's more eyes.
Campana.
There's more eyes on you in a Scotland game, I'm sure, than in a
definitely more eyes
game.
in Scotland.
So some players get in better situations. We mentioned Figal going to Boca, LGP at River Plate. That's a step up for both of them, and so I can't wait to watch those games. Hopefully, they'll show those. Paramount Plus has the Argentinian league, so hopefully I'll be able to watch some of those games. This is interesting. Some news here. Steve Munoz saying that Higuain was spotted in his Bentley at a McDonald's drive-thru.
How awesome is that? A
Breaking
Bentley
news.
and going through the nice.
Breaking news. All right.
That is cool. And a Bentley too. Nice.
He better not be at McDonald's. All right, everybody. Let's listen to another.
Probably for his kids. He probably went through because his kids wanted a Happy Meal or something.
Ed, I think that was a joke, but I don't think he really was. But
I think he did.
Okay, all right, maybe.
Not the first person I heard saying that.
Oh, all right. I assumed Steve there was just being silly. But all right, let's listen to another voicemail, and then we'll get to some of these questions. I see somebody talking about the jersey and all that stuff.
Good evening. This is America's lead Uncle Jed. Just a poor mountaineer, barely keeping his fam cool. Want to give a shout out to Chris Henderson for doing more on the fly.
A little hard to hear.
Months until he did it in a few years. Yes. Welcome to MLS. You will learn the thrill of trying to breathe in Colorado, Salt Lake, as well as begging for your lives in the middle of July. Fantastic job at putting together a team. Maybe a real enough one that I will come down and pay you a visit, Mr. Peter Brown. But as I am an international man of mystery, traveling the world in search of good sacks, whether or not we make acquaintances is yet to be determined. All of that succinctly. Fam, take notes. Bye.
That was really hard to understand.
Yeah.
It was real breaking up, but
now we have an Uncle Jed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that Jazz Fusion? Because he said something about sax. I mean, am I putting?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Unfortunately, we couldn't hear it too well, but
no, it was really hard. It was really breaking up. He didn't have a good connection, unfortunately. So I don't really even know. Couldn't really get the general idea of what he was saying, but
hopefully we'll get Uncle Jed to call in again and with a better connection next time.
Better connection, yeah. So, all right. So, what else, Ed? Do you want to talk about this real quick? This is what some people are asking about, and that's it's pink, the pink jersey. So, what do we think the pink jersey is going to look like? Now, I saw somebody on Facebook, and this was not my discovery, if you will, but I agree with him, and I don't remember who it was. I don't remember his name, but he was saying that he thinks you see this heartbeat going through because the fans are the heartbeat of this club. Jorge Mas once claimed that Southern Legion, the supporters club, was the heartbeat of Inter Miami. So we see this little EKG thing. I got a feeling that's going to be in the shirt, and this is what the Facebook guy had said. So you know how they like to do those little imprints, like we had the bird imprints and stuff like that. So I think you may see this little zigzagging through there and making some sort of like light pattern. You probably don't even notice it from a distance, but you get up close, the way the light hits it, you notice it. I think that would be really cool.
That is cool. If they come up with that, incredible.
Yeah, I think that would be really neat. So now other people are asking. Some people are asking about or commenting. Besides that, Christian Barnett is asking, what should the pink jerseys be like in terms of design aspects? How do you want the design to look, Ed? Do we want to see just a solid pink shirt with some design on it, like I just described? Somebody else in the comments was asking about a collar. Would you like to see a collar with a shirt, or what? What do you think?
Well, I think they're definitely going to put those stripes that Adidas is famous for.
On the sleeves.
Unfortunately, yeah, they're probably going to have maybe black stripes coming down the sleeve or something. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the collar. I don't know if it'll be a round one or what. Kind of hard to predict.
I would be a fan of a collar, because you get a pink shirt with a black collar.
Looks pretty nice.
That would look cool.
Yeah, but I think at least there'll be some. Those stripes are going to be on there somewhere, probably black, which will make it look pretty sharp. I think all pink, and hopefully what you said, those EKG thing, going through there. Instead of like the heron and the ones that the Palma thing that the palm, I think that would be awesome.
And every shirt it has a name. We had Rosa Negra, we have La Palma. This one
Heartbeat.
This one would be the Heartbeat.
There you go. I like it.
So
Can't
I
wait.
I think it's gonna. I wouldn't expect much more than that. I don't think there's gonna be some grand design or anything like that. I think it's going to be pretty simple. I think it's going to be basically a pink shirt, maybe some little design flourishes here and there. I would really enjoy a black collar, and then some black, the end caps on the sleeves. That would look nice as well. Just bringing in the two colors. Yeah, it would look sharp. But I wouldn't expect too much, because one thing keep in mind is Adidas has a lot of say on these designs, and they have been very, very plain as of the last several years. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So don't expect some amazing piece of art. It's going to be fairly simple.
That's kind of what disappoints me about having one sponsor for the whole league.
Right.
Because, when it comes to jerseys, Adidas basically has the same uniform for every team with slight variations, the colors or whatever. So that leads to boring designs. They've got a monopoly on all the teams, so there's uniformity across every team. If we had others, if every team was able to get their own sponsor, shirt sponsor, I think we'd get Marathon, we'd get Nike, we'd get you name it, Puma or whatever.
Yeah.
Then the designs are going to be more exciting, and hopefully we'll get to that stage someday.
I don't know.
Where they can do that.
I don't imagine that's going to happen, because there's just so much money being thrown at them with this deal, and they're modeling it after all the other leagues in the United States. All the leagues do the same thing. So
in the United States, but in let me see what he says.
Esteban saying, knowing MLS is tied to Adidas, the new jersey will be a washed down version with a minor thing added to it to make it different, so people buy new jerseys again, which is basically what we were describing, I think. So agreed. But but at the end of the day, I won't be upset, because it will be pink. I said last year, just make the training jersey the primary.
And the year before.
Yeah, right. I said the same thing twice, right?
Yeah.
Take that training jersey and make it the primary jersey, and we would be happy. Could it be better? Could you add some design flourishes? Sure. But that would be enough.
Right. I agree. And I'm surprised there hasn't been any leaks, man. The last couple of years, there were leaks of the jerseys, and nothing has happened this time. This time they've kept it tight, which in a way is good. But I like the speculation of whether the leak is the correct one. Sometimes I'd wish that there was a leak, so we had something a little bit more to talk about. But,
sure. I expect there maybe to be some leaks in the next week or two. But somebody was asking when we think the jersey will be released. My guess would be February. So think about this: they're having the open house on February 5th. So let's go through, because maybe we save this for next week. But I would love to talk about
this week.
I would love to talk about MLS Next Pro as well. But maybe we're getting near the end of the show, and last 15 minutes.
Talk about MLS Next. Last time, I forgot the shirt. I had, Peter was the first one that came up with MLS Next.
I don't know if that was my idea, but we put it in there.
I think it was, because you designed the T-shirt, didn't you?
Yeah. But I just don't know whose idea it was. I mean, everybody throws in ideas. I just want the one that put it together.
You execute. And,
I execute. I'm an executor.
Oh, yeah. So I remember on our Southern Legion shirts, we put the number of the MLS team we thought we were going to be. We went through 20 to 25 or something, and we just decided, you know what, we're just going to put MLS next because we kept on getting pushed back. And Peter could have been a millionaire right now with that.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
That new league is called MLS Next
Pro. Yeah. So let's quickly talk about the schedule. So next week tomorrow starts training camp, right? And we talked about tune in 10:30 a.m., watch the press conference and whatever else they may show us. January 22nd, they have actually. Let's do this. Can we do this? Yeah.
There we go.
January 22nd, we have a match against Columbus Crew at I'm pretty sure it's at Drive Pink Stadium, but I don't know. The 29th against DC United, so good competition there, both teams. February 4th, an undetermined opponent to be determined.
But those games, Peter, I guess no
closed doors.
Closed doors.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I guarantee. It doesn't say that, but going by what they did last year, closed doors. February 5th is at open training at Drive Pink Stadium, so I imagine it's going to be something similar to what they did last year. Last year they didn't have training. It was a meet and greet type of thing, stuff like that. So I imagine something along those lines, except this time we get to watch training. And so my opinion, and let's come back here. My opinion is that wouldn't that be a great day to unveil your jersey?
Oh, perfect.
Wouldn't
and they'd sell a lot.
Wouldn't that be at Drive Pink Stadium, February 5th, in front of your fans? Wouldn't that be a great place to unveil the jersey? I think I think you're likely to see it in the first 2 weeks of February. So so that to me makes sense. Now, of course, they're not in total control of that. Adidas probably has something to say with it. The league has definitely something to say with it. They don't exactly give you a schedule of when they're going to release these things, but I think that makes complete sense that they would do that.
Yeah.
Back to this,
I agree. That would look awesome.
Then they're traveling on February 11th to the 19th. They're traveling to South Carolina, where they'll play in the Carolina Cup. And those games you can go to, Ed. You could buy tickets and go to Carolina if you want and see them play Columbus Crew and Charleston Battery, and then Charlotte FC, which would be interesting. And then they're back just in time for the season to start. So good times ahead. Lots of work to do. So Tracker here. I just saw something that was interesting. Tracker is saying asking for Vega is a mistake. Pity Martinez was the best South America player when he came to MLS. He flopped in the league. Yeah, but there's no guarantees either way. I mean,
we just looking for his past, history. I mean, Pity, like you said, was also pretty good, and then he came to Major League Soccer and he didn't work out. We're hoping that Vega can, he's still in pretty decent shape. And he's able to show what he showed in the Copa Libertadores and with Palmeiras. So he seems to be in a good fit, but that's what we thought about Pizarro, and he just wasn't able to make things work here.
Exactly. Christian Barnett is asking, is Luis Suarez coming to Miami this summer realistic to replace Matuidi as the third DP? So my thought is this. I don't know about Luis Suarez. I think you're sold on it a lot more than I am. But my thought is you get rid of Matuidi now and sign Vega or whoever else you want to sign as a DP now and pray that you can offload Pizarro by summer, because all you need to do then is free up that DP spot by summer. So you sell Pizarro, and you may have to take a loss. I mean, basically give him away. But you make that sale happen, and that way you have the ability to bring in Suarez, who you think, Ed, has got a strong possibility of coming.
Yeah, I believe that they are in contact with him, and his contract ends at mid-season. So perfect for him to be showing up at that time. But we have that problem with the DPs, he'd definitely be a VP. DP, I'm sorry.
A VP DP.
A VP.
A
He'd be a
VP
DP. But I believe that our priority would be a playmaker. So I would go for Vega because I just think he's the player we need right now. And if we don't get Suarez, well, let's hope that Campana is good. Let's hope that Robinson could step it up. Any Higuain is just spectacular, and we'll be able to hold up. But I think our priority is to get that playmaker, and if we can get Suarez, awesome, because he'll probably pay for himself. With the jersey sales and all that. Sponsors, I'm sure will be able to start stocking up, and this is what they're probably preparing the way to get Messi over here, man. I know you don't want me to say that, but I'm gonna.
I mean, we're just tired of saying. We're just tired of hearing about that. Tired of that.
Yeah, I know. So that's why I was disappearing for a little bit because you're tired of hearing about Messi. But I think that's their goal, down the road. So
yeah.
For now, I'd say let's get Vega, and then
Bruno's a fan of our hats. He says, "Are those new caps for this season? They look so dope." No, these have been around for a while. We just got them.
Yeah.
And it's funny, is Ed and I did not talk about it. We just ended up both buying them.
Yeah.
So, no, they've been around for a while. That's why they are in our Caneswear picture right there. It's the same hat.
Get him a Caneswear, guys.
Yeah, it's the same hat. There's that. Matt Tweedy has to go. I see that. Richard Greenberg is asking, has Inter Miami bought out any contracts yet? Nope.
No.
So, one thing I wanted to talk about, I thought was funny though. It got on Twitter and somebody made some comment that Pellegrini's coming back to Inter Miami.
I always knew he wasn't coming back.
So that was hot gossip for about 5 minutes, and when I think one of you guys mentioned it to me, and my response was simple: how? We don't have a DP spot. Right. That's why he's gone. That's the only reason he's gone. I mean, he might have been kicked out by now at the end of this season, had he not turned it around, but he didn't even get a chance because of the whole Matuidi scandal. So he is a DP, and so that was never going to happen. That was never going to happen because we just don't have. Even if he was tearing it up over there, and you think, okay, now it's prime. This is a great opportunity. You can't.
Nope.
And you're not bringing him in. Let's say you bought out Matuidi. You're not bringing him in over a new prospect. You're going to go for the new prospect first,
right?
Like Vega, that everybody wants.
Yeah, I think they already signed the kid off. He's playing pretty. He scored a couple goals in the Argentinian league, but I don't think he's done enough, for him to come back. And at least I don't think he's shown any interest from other clubs to, acquire him. So I think he's going to stay with Estudiantes for a while.
Yeah.
And hopefully, down the road, Inter Miami will be able to make some money off of him before his contract's up. Let's see what happens.
So I think there's some chatting here going on back and forth about Vasilev, because we're hearing rumors that they're bringing him back. There's some rumors that somebody did a fun Photoshop of him as Indiana Jones, Indy Vasilev. So that was a fun little Photoshop somebody did. But yeah, there's word that they're gonna buy him, find a way to bring him back.
Cool.
And he's good, but he's not also one of these guys that's gonna light it on fire. He's
right.
He's good, not great.
Right. And I'm happy with that because that'll add some depth into our team in case somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
So
it's a long season. He'll get starts.
Yeah, and if Campana doesn't work out, maybe Indy could slide it right in.
Yeah, but even if Campana does work out, it's a long season. He'll get a chance to play. Someone's gonna sit. Whether he's coming off the bench or whether I think he'll get some starts. Phil likes to mix things up sometimes. At some point something's not going to be working, or somebody's hurt, what have you.
Yeah. But are we playing? What's the tournament that they also play with all the teams in the USA? The Open Cup.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Open Cup is back.
Good, because they'll definitely get some chance to play in those games, and hopefully Inter Miami takes it seriously because I think a lot of Major League Soccer teams don't take it too seriously, and they should. I think it's a tournament that it has whoever wins it has a chance to going to the CONCACAF championships or whatever for the national, for the teams or whatever. So hopefully that works out, man. I'm hoping that tournament gets a little bit more light.
Mm-hmm. This quick Google search. Esteban is asking, how many years does MLS have signed up to with Adidas? 2024. The partnership was extended at some point, and reports suggested that the current 6-year deal that they were in is worth $700 million.
What do you guys think? I mean, should Major League Soccer continue making deals like this where they only have one shirt sponsor, or do you agree with me where I think every team should have the option of getting their own sponsor?
Look,
I know the way the league is set up, they want uniformity, and but I just think it's boring when it comes to the jerseys. Adidas barely even tries.
I agree, and I agree that it would be fun and I would like it, but it ain't going to happen. I just don't see it happening. I just can't see it happening. You might see something
all the
like
fans, do a protest or something, and
they don't care.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
$700 million, Ed. It's worth $700 million.
And they spread that out evenly throughout all teams.
Teams. So, how do you turn that down? You might see them make a new deal with someone else. You could get a Nike or something like that, but then you're still going to have the same problem.
Right.
It's just a different company, but you'll have the same problem. But, in the early years of MLS, I don't remember how many years, but in the early years, everybody did have their own jerseys. Because remember, we had Umbro with Miami Fusion, and some of the jerseys were god-awful. And
they sure were, man.
But I think by today's standards, everybody would have some good-looking jerseys, even if you're getting some lower-tier companies. Look, Miami FC has a kind of a lower-tier provider. Darn it, I'm trying to remember who it is. But either way, it's a quality shirt, and they got nice designs. So everybody's got pretty good deals. I don't know, Esteban. We're just debating with Esteban in the last minutes. Peter, unless MLS starts getting revenue from TV deals, then the shirt sponsors won't be as deciding of a factor. I still don't agree, because they're rich people that want to be richer, right? So you take the TV deal and you take the shirt deal. You don't take one and then go, okay, now we can let the teams do their own thing here, which may or may not equal $700 million. Look, if every team could make a shirt deal happen that would equal their chunk of that $700 million, then I think it makes sense. But it's not going to be that way, because if you're in a smaller market, you're not going to get as much money as somebody like an LA or New York and maybe a Miami, and you're just not. If you got a sold out stadium all the time like Atlanta with those in that Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you're going to get a better deal than you would if you're in Colorado and there's nobody at your stadium. Those are better shirt deals.
Well, you got to point. That's one of probably the reasons why they did the league this way, because NASL probably had that back in the day, and they probably had. The Cosmos sold millions, while a team in some smaller city probably that's why a lot of them died out. A lot of teams died out, and it was basically the Cosmos and a couple other teams that were left.
This is the Macron
Anthony.
That's for Miami FC. That's who he was helping remind me. Richard Greenberg is saying the new MLS TV deal in 2023 is supposed to be really big. Yeah, what they're doing, because what they told all of their teams is that whatever local TV deals you have, they have to end in 2022. Everything ends in 2022 because they're packaging everything, local, streaming, national. They're packaging it all together in one package. So, and that includes MLS Next Pro. It includes both and all these. So it is supposed to be a bigger package. The negative is in the previous packages, they were able to put the U.S. men's national team as part of that package, which sweetened the pot. Well, it's not part of it anymore. It's separate. Oh. So that won't sweeten that pot. So that lowers it. But then they fill it up with more games. All right, we're going to give you MLS Next Pro. We're going to give you Leagues Cup. That's a big one. So that they're hoping it's a big one, right? So that's all coming. But anyways, Esteban's cracking me up. Do not worry. Starting today, the show goes from 7 to 9. No, it doesn't. Believe it or not, Esteban, I'm starting to run out of steam.
You can only talk so much, and Peter could talk. That man,
but actually, I
do
have a whole nother topic. But you actually have a family to get to, and a lovely wife that wants your attention, as do I. So we will save. I have a nice article that, and I don't know how many people read The Athletic, but there's a really good article in The Athletic about MLS Next Pro. And so just a little tease for let's hopefully we could get to this next week, because really at the end of the day, if there's a whole bunch more of Miami news, we may not get to it again. But let's hope we could get to it, because I think there's some fun things to talk about in this new MLS Next Pro, because I'll just touch on it right now, but each MLS Next Pro team is fully owned by their MLS parent company. It is not part of one corporate structure the way MLS is. These are all privately owned teams. And so that opens up a whole new level of conversation that we can have there. And also keep in mind, I think MLS Next Pro will be used to play around with some technology, some ideas, and different things that would eventually potentially move up into MLS. So we could go into more detail on all that kind of stuff. And I think that could be a fun conversation to have.
And I think what's interesting before we leave is that they have a team that's not even related to the rest of the teams in
Rochester. Former Rochester Raging Rhinos, and the new owners. So they removed the Raging Rhinos from there. Speaking of, you mentioned Open Cup. Rochester Rhinos are the only USL team to have won the Open Cup. At the time, I think it was called the A-League, but A-League became the USL. So they beat an MLS team. This was back in the early years of MLS. I don't know if it was 96, 97, somewhere around there. So anyways, Ed, I hear the kids. They're calling for you.
Yeah, they're calling for me. It's I guess time to go, Peter Brown.
It is time to go. So everybody, I'm sorry, Esteban, but we got to go, and maybe we'll do some longer shows another time. And we've talked about doing a midweek show. If you guys are interested, I could do that. But Esteban didn't like the idea of midweek, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, what people want, and we'll try to do that. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and go to Caneswear. Say hi to Caneswear, and then tell them that we sent you. So thanks, everybody. Love the fact that the chat was so active tonight, and we'll see you next week.